Well, we got it in here. Might as well look and see what we got. Start the unboxing video. Supposed to inspect these and make sure you got everything. But that's how she comes, fully assembled. Now they usually had the chip pan and the splash guard dismounted, but to get the plastic off. How they ship them now, at least the other ones I've seen photos people posting. The splash guard and chip pan are on the wooden bottom, and I guess they're bolted right to this. So tomorrow I'll pull the walls of this crate out, and then probably we'll lift her up from the ways. But as for tooling and that, right now I'm tired, and tomorrow's going to be another day, but here I'm going to just start the unboxing. I got the quick change tool post holder, which that's been added. But lifting this thing up was very hard to balance it, and as you can see, all the weight is down here on this end with the headstock. So we got her in the garage, and we're set to eat dinner now, and then tomorrow we'll take the sides off the crate and look at everything. Everything seems to be there. There's a tool kit and my quick change tool post holder and all that other fun stuff. And I'll have the sides off. I'll start the video up once I get the sides of this crate off tomorrow. Alright, the first little segment of this video is when we unloaded the lathe, took the lid off and just peeked inside. The next thing you should do is you do your inspection, make sure everything's here and nothing got damaged. So the one thing you do find in there is your manual, and you go to the manual, it has an inventory list. So you go through the inventory list and make sure everything is here, it's supposed to be here. The box I went with getting the stand for this lathe. So that big box on top, if you watch the video where we unload, had to stand it. And we'll do this first. What was in there were the two pedestals and the different bits, little sheet metal cross members. All of this was wrapped in bubble wrap together. And these things were packed in there. You had these two cross members, some other cross member plates. These look like some sort of supports. A bag of hardware, which I didn't open, and basic instructions on assembly with no words or anything. So that's what came in the box that was strapped to the top of the crate. And the thickness on the metal on this, the top part's reinforced, and you got two bolt holes here, which where the headstock will go. This is the left, and I have the right turned upside down. And the reason is I just wanted to look at what we got. The metal's a little over 200 thousandths thick, not quite a quarter inch. And I guess these things have 4 holes to where if you went on a cement floor and sunk rods in, you can bolt this down to rods in a cement floor if you wanted. I'm not going to do that, but we'll get in more to looking closer at the stand. I plan to put leveler legs on here and that, but this is how it came. The package was undamaged, everything looks good. I think it's fairly sturdy, but more on that when we get to the stand video. Now you take your manual and it gives you a list of things in there. Now we go over, now I went and took the crate apart because I don't think you need to show, I don't need to show you me taking apart the crate. But one thing I did notice when I took the crate apart, when I took the sides off, was there was this metal plate here and a little screw here I found just lying loose. I guess this is a cover. It goes up here. For some reason it was removed and the screw was just laying on the side. So when you're taking the crate apart, be careful and make sure there's no loose parts. I ain't gonna fool with this right now. And I watched a lot of videos and that, seen how people got earlier versions of this machine delivered and other lathes delivered. They used to put them on a little narrow crate and put it on a skid, but this came with, and the splash guard and the chip pan would be separate. The way this was is the lathe is bolted down with 2 bolts to this skid bottom, if you want to call it, and the chip pan and the splash guard are installed. And more on that when we get into cleaning and moving. But as you see, this is how it comes. And one thing be aware of, I noticed when I was looking at this, I can get the apron to move. I believe when this arrived, the half nut was locked and I couldn't move the apron. So, you know, be aware that they kind of lock it for shipping. Now it moves. So we'll go through the checklist and in the manual. It's kind of weird. We'll do the things that are there on the lathe itself. It says lathe, 3-jaw chuck, 3-jaw chuck key, mount, this and that, wrenches, stopping plate. The things on this list that are here would be the 3-jaw chuck, and because you have a clutch in here, there's what they call a stopping plate, and that's bolted right here. Now, when I opened the crate up, I ordered an extra quick change tool post holder, and it was like here. And on the back side of the wall with the crate up, there was the steady rest, the follower rest were about here in the box. And then there was a small wooden box nailed down right about here behind the lathe, just a small tiny wooden box. And if you go through your checklist, I have it up over here. This was a little box, and it was, you could see, was stapled down, and it had this little wooden lid nailed on it, and that was behind the lathe, nailed down to the skid itself. Well, here's the steady rest and the follower rest. These are in little boxes taped down and secured on the skid. In the little wooden box, if you go through the checklist, you get a large dead center, which that will go in the spindle. You get a small dead center for the tailstock. There's a set of Allen wrenches, 5 of them. Here's your chuck key, which is in there. There's a set of 4 open-end wrenches. And these are all in little plastic bags. Your 2 handles, which screw on and attach. Now this is another key or chuck key, which I don't know if it's for the knife rest. Probably you use that over here on your tool holder. You use that to tighten the screws for your freebie generic 4-position tool post holder. So that's what that is. They don't install the drive belt. So the drive belt is in there. You get one, And it says in this manual about 5 times to wipe the oil off the drive belt or it could damage the machine. But we'll get into more into that when we go and get the machine, start putting it together. You get a bag full of gears, so you're going to have to change gears for your gear ratios. So you got some gears, and I think there's 5 of them. 1, 2, yep, 5 gears. There's another set of jaws for the 3-jaw chuck. And these are for grabbing on the OD, and the other ones probably are for the ID. So you got a set of 3 jaws in that little box. And then you have this spanner wrench. It's something to do with tightening the bearing on the spindle. Get more into that. I've never done that, but it's there. And the oil bottle. Then there was another separate little bag with 4 of these little Allen bolts, 4 nuts, 4 washers. I have no idea what they're for. And it looks like 4 little rubber feet of some sort. Okay, which these may bolt onto something. I don't know if they bolt onto the bottom of the chip tray. But there's also a 12 by 125 metric bolt. I got the other one. I took it to work and measured it. And some washers. I believe these are used to bolt the lathe down to the top of the stand through the feet. Now there's 2 bolts holding it to the pallet. I don't know if you can use those or if I have to go get 2 more of these, because there's 4 holes, 2 in each of the feet of the lathe to bolt to the top of the stand. So everything arrived that's supposed to arrive. Nothing got damaged. Everything was in good shape. And that's basically your lathe package. You know, the stand is an add-on. So you get the steady rest, follower rest, all these little tools. You get that, this is the tool post holder that comes with it. I believe it's, it indexes once you get it loose. So you got your different positions in there. Everything is covered in Cosmoline, and you know, my biggest thing is get the lathe up. I'll probably take the splash guard off, try to lift the lathe up and get the sheet metal out of the way, and then work on it from there. But everything showed up, the cord, the extension cord, all the little tools and that. That's what you get with the basic package. Some, you know, that stop is still attached to the lathe. But that's about it. So that's what you do with your inspection. Everything arrived, everything I ordered is here. Nothing got damaged or lost in the shipment. So now we're ready to move on to the next phase. Probably would be trying to figure out where we're going to put it and getting this stand assembled and working on that.